As part co-owner of the business, my daughter finds it necessary to send me TikToks on situations, creators, anything she can think of to make my juices flow in order to create content for this channel. This particular thing is no exception. Now let's think about it for a second. Baby boomers, millennials, Gen Z, Generation Alpha. I feel like I left one generation out. Oh yeah, that would be Generation X, my generation. Let's talk about it. So my daughter sent me this TikTok from Hazard Holler, and in it, this person was quoting somebody known as said influencer. And this person had some things to say, and I want to read them and comment as I go. So let's take it from the top. And keep in mind that since 2019, when this was written, this person changed their name to Zambezi Jews. Zambezi Jews? I don't know how to say Zambezi. I hope I'm saying it right. So let's read it. People born between 1985 and 1995 are the most unique generation of all time. Here's why. Now keep in mind they're referring to millennials. They even have the dates wrong, but we're going to keep going because this is going to take a while. Anyway, they're in between two generations. The one before the internet and technology took over, and the generation after. Computers, just because we didn't have internet doesn't mean that computers, aka technology, did not exist before 1995. In fact, the internet was already alive in 1995. It was just not the version that you all know, like in Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. It was a very different situation. But let's keep going. The generation before us was old school and believed in working hard. The generation after us believes in working smart. The whole idea of working smart was already running around when I was in high school. I graduated from high school in 1985, but I digress. We saw it all. Radio, TV, Mario, Waptrick, Nokia, Nintendo 64, Samsung, iPhone, PS4, tape, CD, DVD, Mixit IT, MiG32, Netflix, Snapchat, emojis, virtual reality, ... or ellipsis, whatever, however you want to call it. You're missing, I don't even know, I can't even tell you how many things you're missing. You're missing going from records to tapes to CDs. You did mention CDs, so why didn't you mention tapes and the 8-tracks and that sort of things? You're missing the fact that we went from TV, regular TV with 3 or 4 stations, to cable. I don't see mention of cable anywhere on this diatribe of baloney. And more importantly, y'all did not see it all, because I have a child that happens to be a millennial. And I will never forget, and will never let her forget, that one day when she found my records, you know, the LPs, she asked me what was up with the big CDs, because she had no clue. Mind you, I had been playing them the whole time, so why didn't she know? I don't know, but I digress. The generation before us can be scammed with simple emails asking for money and offering love, with a laughing emoji. The generation after us knows it's better to have 4 emails, one for serious stuff, social media, financial transactions, and one for experiments for things you don't trust. My generation, aka Generation X, was the one who started that whole thing about having more than one email. One for personal stuff and one for professional stuff, or one for personal stuff and one for stuff that you were searching on the internet and you weren't sure about. But I'm going to keep going because there's a point to this. We are the generation that knows tradition and question it, picking from it what makes sense to us. The next generation before us knew no questions. The generation after us knows no tradition. Again, if you're talking about you being a millennial, the generation before you, and I am going to give my hand out now because I'm getting angrier as I read this, is Generation X. You are describing baby boomers. You're not describing Generation X, because we seem to disappear from the narrative of everybody. We are the gap between the industrial age and the internet age. You really are not. We understand both sides from experience. You really do not. We should be running the world. You really should not. The old guys don't understand what's going on anymore. The new guys don't fully understand where what's going on came from. You know, it's really funny because that particular statement is ageist in both directions. And I'm hoping that the Alpha generation and Gen Z will take note that I'm defending them and myself in this process. So lucky for me, hubby interrupted this recording with a phone call, so I was able to calm down before I came back for my last thoughts. Let me be clear in one thing. I really don't believe in this thing about generations, because there are certain things that happen as you age that are not exactly tied up to the generation. And what do I mean? People naturally, and this is not supposed to be the way it is, but it is. People naturally get a little bit more forgetful and a little bit more paranoid as they get older. And I'm telling you from personal experience. I do know that when I was in my 30s and my 40s, I would go out of my apartment or my house at any time of the day or night, and I wouldn't even think about it twice. Now, I'm beginning to think about the possibility of getting in a car wreck or getting some sort of situation happen to me. So I know, I put it in the back of my head, but I know that as I get older, I might actually get more upset with it. That's not something that happens to everybody in my generation. That happens to most people as they get older, and it's based on logic. You are not as fast as you used to be. You might not be as strong as you used to be. In my personal case, I have a medical condition, but for people that are completely fine, they don't have any major issues, when they get older, if they haven't been exercising the entire time, or at least for the last few years so that they're strong, they are going to feel a little weaker than the average person, and so they don't want to expose themselves to certain situations. That has nothing to do with generations. And the thing about generations is that I don't believe in them. When I mentioned the boomer that he was describing boomers, I was basing it on the age, not on the actual generation. That's one thing I want to make clear. The second thing that I want to make clear, and I put a little screenshot there for you guys to notice, is that the Industrial Revolution was in the 17th and the 1800s. It wasn't anywhere near the 1900s. The first official computer, if you didn't have a chance to see the graphics very well, was invented, for lack of a better word, in 1943. Between the 1800s and 1943, there's a lot of years, and there's a lot of things that happen. Now, that's if this person is basing it on actual computers. There are other things that happened between the 1800s and the 1900s where technology was definitely improving. The car is one example. Mass transportation, planes, trains, that sort of thing. So, my point in this video is the following. If you are going to talk a good game about things, you should know about those things. If you're gonna claim that your generation is the best, and by the way, don't think that I'm attacking Zambezi Jews, because the reality is that every generation does this. When I was younger, my generation thought we were the crap. And I'm changing the word, obviously. The baby boomers have always thought they're the best generation. The silent generation thought they were the best generation. Every generation has had a moment in time when they think they are the best and they know everything. And the reality is that none of us know a damn thing. Now that I calmed down, I want to know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons, and have a wonderful day.